And just like that, the first children ever were born into the world. God blessed Adam and Eve with the ability to create life, and Eve brought forth not only one son, but two. Unfortunately, this relationship would be short-lived as the eldest brother Cain chose to kill his younger brother, the first murder ever in history. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. But why? Seems like a harsh, dark action for Cain to kill his brother. Was it based off of sibling rivalry? I will admit, siblings can get on your last nerves, and everybody knows younger siblings can be the worst. But surely Abel didn't do anything that terrible to infuriate Cain. The text does tell us that Cain worked the soil while Abel tended to his flock of sheep. Throughout history, ranchers and farmers have always been at odds with each other. This was a huge problem in the 1800s, so perhaps Cain killed Abel over a land dispute, or there was a disagreement over money. Well, the text is actually straightforward as to the root of this heinous crime. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering unto the Lord. Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but did not look with favor on Cain's offering. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Simply put, when it was time to make offerings unto God, Abel's was accepted, while Cain's was rejected. But what was wrong with Cain's offering? Did God have a vendetta against Cain, and did he favor the younger brother Abel? I could spend hours going down all the rabbit holes, examining the ancient languages like these Bible scholars tend to do, but the gist of these sacrifices comes down to this. God had asked Adam and Eve to perform sacrifices and offerings when they were kicked out of the garden, as part of a plan God was setting in motion. The point in this case that can be made for certain is that Cain's offering was contrary to specific instructions God had given to both brothers. Abel listened and did what was asked of him. Cain, however, chose to deviate and do something completely different. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Earlier, we saw how Lucifer's selfishness and desire for his own way caused his ultimate downfall and exit from heaven, and we saw how Adam and Eve were tricked into doubting God's intentions. Humans have a problem. We want things to operate the way we want them to. Not only in many cases is it simply not possible, it often leads to catastrophic consequences. Cain wanted to make the offering his way, on his own terms. He became angry when God would not accept his offering. God reached out to him with a stern warning, saying, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you don't do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to consume you, but you must rule over it." Unfortunately, Cain wouldn't listen, and once again, he chose his own course of action, his own solution to him that was a good idea and would maybe solve his problem. But it only brought death, the death of his little brother Abel. But the story doesn't end there. Sure, God passed down a sentence. Cain was to no longer be a farmer and produce harvest from the soil, and he was also cursed to wander aimlessly without a home, far away from the life he had known. God's plan wasn't thwarted by Cain's deed. Adam and Eve had another son, Seth, who would continue the birth line onward, and Cain also received a mark from God that kept him from receiving the same fate his brother received, although we're not exactly sure what that mark was. But what would happen if Cain had chosen to listen to God's instruction, to God's warning, to God's plan all along? We've all tried to go according to our own plans that we have put into place, but God has plans that are far better than our own. Jesus said, "I came that they may have life, and that they may have it more abundantly." Like Cain, we may think that our own sinful way is what will lead us to life, but the reality is that there is only one way to life, and Jesus told us what it is, or who it is, when he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to the Father except through me."